Rematch of the 2007 NBA Finals. It's the first time this year that the Spurs and Cavs have gotten together. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz, our CBSSports.com NBA columnist, Ken Berger. Glad to be with you, previewing Friday night's matchup between San Antonio and Cleveland. And Ken, you look at the Cavaliers, and they'll be coming off a back-to-back because they've got Houston here on Thursday night. In terms of LeBron James, that really doesn't matter for him, but his players around him, particularly Delonte West, because of the injury that he's coming off of, that could play a big role, having this be a back-to-back.
No, it could. And Delonte came back and played the first game back, then didn't play against Memphis. So, you know, it's not clear whether he's going to be able to, this early on in his comeback, going to be able to play in back-to-back. So I would probably count him out for this one. And that's a big loss for the Cavs because when he's back, it was obvious he scored 25 in his first game back, and he's someone who he takes the pressure off Mo Williams and LeBron in terms of handling the ball, initiating the offense. He's a guy who can shoot the ball and score. So they really missed him when he was gone, and they're going to miss him sort of in this little interim period when he's trying to work his way back. Until
he gets back to being healthy. But for the playoff run here, he'll be huge for Cleveland, and especially if he is healthy in the playoffs. Now, can you look at being healthy? That's something the Spurs, they don't have the luxury of right now. Manu Ginobili is obviously going to be out for this game. Tim Duncan has missed this week. He's day-to-day. The quad injury. Tony Parker, though, has stepped up. How has he been able to do it?
76 points in 2 games without Manu and Duncan. And they really need him. That's, you know, they do have the luxury of having a point guard who is playing at an incredible level in Tony Parker, and finally, you know, getting his feet under him and getting himself healthy. And that's going to be a key for them to kind of weather this little period here where Duncan is iffy, and when Ginobili is obviously out for a little bit. So it's nice to have that luxury, but the Spurs, you know, they're kind of almost getting into a Utah Jazz kind of thing, where in the beginning of the year Utah was struggling to keep guys in the lineup. Now that bug is kind of hitting the Spurs.
Yeah, and then, of course, with the Spurs, the role players, as you're mentioning, playing a big role. That's what they've wanted in Cleveland. That's what they're starting to get in. But it is all about LeBron. And despite the fact that San Antonio was such a good defensive team, he has gotten his numbers against San Antonio throughout the years, with the exception of the NBA Finals.
Right. And, yeah, his averages career against San Antonio are right there with what it's been in his career in the league. But you can't, you know, if you ask Greg Popovich, there really is no strategy for defending LeBron James. You just throw as many people at him as you can and hope for the best. But you do miss, when you don't have Duncan, even though they have Kurt Thomas, who's a tough guy inside who can defend the basket, it's tough to defend LeBron when you don't have that backside defender, you know, as the last line of defense. So they miss him, and Matt Bonner, you know, at that spot can step out and shoot 3-pointers, but that's not going to help him keep LeBron out of the paint. So, you know, we'll see how that works.
You hope you don't get caught on a switch where Matt Bonner's the guy guarding LeBron. That's not going to work for you. Who wins this game here, Ken?
You know, I would say probably Cleveland, just because of the uncertainty with, I think they will have an easier time overcoming Delonte's absence because they've been through it for so long, versus the Spurs, especially if they don't have Duncan.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. For he's Ken Berger, I'm Jason Horowitz. Keep all your NBA info right here on CBSSports.com. Take care, folks.